Hello, everyone. So I'm Israeli. I'm a Jew. This is actually my first time to actually read the New Testament in English. I never read it in Hebrew. I'm happened to get this Bible from someone that I believe that he's from the Philippines, and I decided just to read it. And my knowledge about Christianity is based about reading history, basically from reading history books, and basically because we are bombarded by the Christian story about Jesus and the disciple, and we are being bombarded with this information. So if you watch a lot of American TV, American movies, you get the picture, or you understand what happened. And also, sometimes you get to see shows, even Disney shows or something like this, and the entire story basically is being told to you. So most people, they know the narrative of Jesus, even before they read the New Testament. But now that I start to read the New Testament, and I just started with Matthew. In a minute, I found mistakes. In a minute, I found mistakes, and I kept on reading all of the book of Matthew, and I just found more mistakes. So I am about to show you what are the mistakes. Don't forget, I'm Israeli. I'm a native Hebrew speaker. I don't believe in Jesus, and I just read it as a book. I want to learn who wrote it, what was the purpose, what's the historical background, and how is it relevant to these days. Okay, all right. So have a look. So the first main problem with this entry of the book of Matthew is that they're saying that Jehoram, King Jehoram of Judea was the father of Uzziah. This is contradicting to the Bible. It's completely contradicting to the Bible because actually Jehoram's son was Akhaziya, which ruled in about 842 and 843 BC, was murdered by Yehu, and then Athaliah was the queen, and after she was deposed for 7 years, it was Yoash. And then you have Amatsya, okay? And only then you have Uzziah. So it's about 40 years and 3 legitimate kings. Athaliah was not exactly a legitimate queen, but is completely dismissing and ignoring 3 very important kings of Judea, which is insane. Now, another small thing which is weird is that they're saying that Boaz was the son of Rechab the prostitute from Jericho. He's saying that his father's name was Solomon, but actually Jewish tradition says that Rechab married with Joshua, the conqueror. So this is just a bit weird. Here's another thing in chapter 23. He's saying that the Pharisees, or the Jews in general, they murdered Zechariah ben Berechiah, son of Berechiah, which is a prophet, which is unheard of. It's not in the Hebrew Bible. I never heard about this accusation. I have no idea where. If you go back to, in the same book, if you go back to the Old Testament and read about Zechariah, you don't read anything about him being murdered. So I'm not sure exactly what he's referring to. I never heard about Zechariah being murdered. And it's definitely not on the temple. So this is another thing that caught my eyes in Matthew 20 was that Jesus is coming to Jerusalem, and apparently the people, they greet him saying Hosanna, or something like this. Okay, but it actually should be Hoshana. Okay, so this tells me that the writer of Matthew, maybe he was a Jew, but he was definitely not a local Jew, not from Judea, and not from the Galilee, or probably not from a very well-known Jewish community. It's just, why would you write Osana, because you have some people telling you, no, it's actually Oshana, okay? We actually have an entire holiday called Oshana Rabbah, So Osana is just it's just weird. Another thing that seemed weird to me is that in the death of Jesus in Matthew 27, he's actually speaking in Hebrew. He's already on the cross, and he's saying, Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani. Now, obviously, he's supposed to say, my God, why did you forsaken me? So it should be, the Eloi, Eloi is good, my God, and then lama is Hebrew. It's not Aramaic, by the way. By the way, Eloi as well is also, it's Hebrew. So he's speaking Hebrew right now. He's not speaking Aramaic as before. All right, and for some reason they put it in Hebrew, but the they write sabachthani. What is sabachthani? There's no such word in Hebrew, sabachthani. Okay, it should be lama shachachtani. Shachachtani. Okay, shachachtani. All right, I'm gonna write it down for you. Hold on for a second, please. You see over here, I wrote in Hebrew from right to left. I wrote shachachtani. You forgot me. You have forgotten me. You have forsaken me. So the way to say it, written in English letter, would be shachachtani. So he's writing sabachtani. So this is just a clue to me, as an Israeli, as a Jew, as also as someone that knows history from that period of time as well, is that whoever wrote it, unless this is a mistake in this edition, maybe tell me if in your Bible this is different. But if it's not like this, shachachtani, then which, by the way, this is it's not a complicated word in Hebrew. This is actually very easy to say for native Hebrew speakers. Shachachtani. Okay, if you see it in English, it could be like wow, shachachtani. Could be very difficult. But if you're a native Hebrew speaker and the writer of this Matthew is supposed to be from Judea or supposed to be a Jew, is obviously not from Judea. I mean, maybe he forgot his language. I don't know, but it just make me think that maybe he overheard this story and he just got the word wrong. That is very possible. So I'm just saying that the guy himself who wrote the book, I don't know if it's Matthew or not. I don't know what the science is saying or what the religion is saying, but the guy who wrote that is not a native Hebrew speaker. He's actually not a Hebrew speaker at all. He's also not an Aramaic speaker. He's probably Greek. All right, so he's someone that doesn't really know the language of the Jews. Okay, this is just the conclusion. Okay. So just for your knowledge, I'm reading the New International Version of the Holy Bible. So it could be different in your Bible or something like this. I'm not sure. It says that it came from the Philippine Bible Society, and it was printed in 1984 or something like this. Anyhow, my impression from the book, I already told you, is that there is some issues with that. It's historic issues. Some things are completely wrong. You know, he's saying, besides claiming that the Jews murdered Zechariah, which is not true, also he's saying that David with his companion, they went to the house of God and they ate bread that is preserved for the priest. But what? When King David was alive, there was no temple. So what are you talking about? So it seemed to be confused. All right, so Matthew definitely have some information that is historically not true, contradicted in the Christian Old Testament. I don't need to go to the Hebrew Bible. I have it over here in the same book. I have it here saying that those kings that he doesn't even mention, he exists. So my conclusion is that okay, yeah, right. Okay, bye.